is going to be the next village president of Hinsdale. We're very, very, very lucky. Very fortunate. I'm honored to have you speaking, for me on your behalf, and Jeff, school board member, taking all the barbs, all the negative things that folks throw his way, and just knocking it out of the park and taking the heat off of a lot of people. So it's a real honor to have you guys and Carrie. None of us would be here without you. So what can I say? So thanks, guys. It's a real honor to be here and running for school board for D86. As most of you know, I grew up in the area. And I'm a proud graduate of Hinsdale South, class of '96. Both of my sisters also graduated from Hinsdale South, class of '96. We all went off to have very successful lives and go to very fancy sounding schools, and it wouldn't have been possible without D86 being what it is. My family, education was the primary vehicle for advancement for us. So, oh, thank you. Didn't even notice it. Don't watch it, yeah, education is really the primary vehicle for advancement for my family. Okay, so a lot of you know that my parents are not from this country. My dad grew up in Barbados. My mom grew up in Trinidad. Didn't grow up very much. My dad knew hunger growing up. That's something probably none of us in this room have any experience with. No running water, no electricity, which again, every day I try to remind myself of that, because that's the alternative to not working hard the way we all right now are in this room doing, and that we do every day. But he rose from that. It was through education that he got to where he ended up. So he got into a work-study program in England and put himself through legal. It's a little bit different over there in England, but he studied law and became a barrister, and then a law professor. And met my mom there, who was studying nursing on a similar program. And they went back to the Caribbean and then came to the United States because they wanted to give us the absolute best experience that we could possibly have, the best education we could possibly have, in the best country and the best civilization in the history of humankind. And they made it here, and they settled ultimately here in this district. And the reason why they chose this district is because of the education. That's what they told me growing up. We're here because of the education, because it's affordable. It's affordable to live here and get a phenomenal education. So from one generation, my dad, not having a pair of shoes, to his son going to Harvard. My sister went to Princeton. My other sister went to U of I. Doctors and lawyers, all of us. It just tells you the power of education, also the strength of this community and the education you can get here. I went away for a while and I came back a few years ago, and I'm really excited to be back. I don't live in Darien anymore. I live in Hinsdale, and so that means my kids will go to Hinsdale Central. That means I'll be rooting for Red Devils. Against me. This is my friend from way back. We graduated together. I think I can manage it. I think I can. And I obviously want to make sure that they have the absolute best education they could possibly have. So I was getting in the game on that side. But I also feel that coming from where we came from to where I am, where my family came to, I think we have a duty and obligation to make sure that the next generation can have this kind of opportunity that we've all had. Okay, if you don't feel that way, then you just haven't seen what else is out there, and it doesn't exist without a lot of hard work. Very excited to be back, and I think D86 is absolutely top of the line. But there are some indications of a little bit of slippage on some metrics in the last few years, which is a little bit concerning. And I don't think it's destiny, and I don't think it's necessary. And I think we can do a lot of good to kind of keep things moving in a more positive direction. There's a few things that are top priorities for me. If you want to know what those are for me, number one is a commitment to excellence. Okay, So that informs every decision that you make. You know, when you're committed to excellence, a lot of things that would otherwise slide don't. If you're not committed to excellence, then things can kind of go sideways very easily. So that's very important. Number two, and this is maybe the most important thing, we have to make sure that we have as much as we can, a customized approach to meeting every child where they are. Okay, so whether you're testing off the charts and you need to be challenged, or you're not reading at grade level and you need an opportunity to get, to get up there, we need to be there for folks, regardless of where they're at, where they live, what school they go to. And I think that's the most important thing. And we also have to do it fiscally responsibly. Okay? And that's not just about conserving resources. That's about making good disciplined decisions. Okay? So those are my priorities. I think I'm very optimistic about the future for D86, and it's definitely a phenomenal place. Can't wait for my kids to get there. They're still a little bit young. My oldest is 5, so it's a little ways, but I want to make sure that when he gets there, he's going to the best schools in the country, or in the world, really. And he's actually the same age I was when I moved to D86 back in 1983. You can believe that. And he's, literally the smartest person I've ever met. I'm not even kidding. Okay, like earlier today, I had a conversation with him. He was instructing my wife about the fact that there are black holes and there are white holes, okay, in space. My wife was like, "Oh, well, what about blue holes and green holes?" They're like, as a joke, right? And then he said, "Oh, you mean the accretion disk?" Got chills. Smartest kid I've ever met. And, I want to make sure that the education he gets here, that he's challenged, he has a chance to excel. But he also has, like a lot of folks have, he also has challenges as well. And I want to make sure that there are resources there for the things that are tough. And for everybody's kids, whatever their challenges are, wherever they live. That's what it's for me. Now, I just want to say again, thanks everybody for coming out. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to do this without your support. I really appreciate it. It's not easy to raise money. Nobody's there are no PACs or political parties or unions or anything like that putting money in. It's just citizens who care, and it's not easy to do that. So I really appreciate you guys coming out, and look forward to working hard for you on that board.